super exciting is I feel like Dr. John just threw out the science a little bit, and now here comes my story that's going to back it all up. So
Yeah.
it's a very cool synergy tonight that we have. So my name is Alicia. I'm 53, and in 2014, I was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So at that time, I thought really healthy. I was on top of my game. I was on no pharmaceuticals. I did my greens powder and my nutraceuticals every day and didn't have any idea anything was going on in my body. But after returning from a trip to Thailand, that I was in Thailand for about a month working with some human trafficking education and awareness, I came home and just couldn't get better. I felt like I had jet lag. And when I went to the doctor, my doctor's immediately, he was a DO, he was fantastic, sprang to action because he thought I had picked up something in the environment that I was in Thailand. Well, in 3 days, I was diagnosed. Just completely shook our family and myself to the core. And I just did one thing that I wanted to share with you right now. If you don't do anything else tonight, number one, I want you to patch. Number two, if you or a family member is ever diagnosed with the big C, what you really, 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 really need to do is be careful not to put what I call the white coat blinders on. And the white coat blinders are those because you're so numb and you're so scared and you're so overwhelmed of what you just heard that you just nod to whatever is said with the guy with the white coat in front of you. And I made the decision to do my research. I made the decision to step back because it was a Friday that I was diagnosed. They wanted me back at the hospital on Tuesday to put a port in to start a poison in my body the following week after that. And I said, whoo, can we hold off on that just a little bit? Now, I was not into holistic healing. I was not into any really type of work like this that we're in now whatsoever. I worked at a bridal shop and like to, do supplements. I'm not a doctor, you guys. But I said, I really, really, really want to investigate this. I really want to dig. I really want to Google. And the one thing doctors tell you to do is don't go home and start Googling. Well, I did. And I started researching. I even worked with Dr. Stan, that you're going to hear from in just a little bit, with some, nutrition. And we went the whole summer. We went 4 months researching, my family. And I met with a Dr. Stacy Holwicker in Sarasota, Florida. And she recommended stem cell therapy to me. And this is 10 years ago, you guys. And she was doing a lot of stem cell therapy with her daughter, Taylor, at that time. And I got real excited because it made sense to me. Stem cell therapy made sense. And this is 10 years ago. I was going to have to go to Mexico and I was going to have injections, 4 treatments at $25,000 per treatment. Now let's add that up. 4 treatments at $25,000. It was going to be $100K for me to have this treatment. Guys, it wasn't possible. I just told you I worked at a bridal shop. That wasn't happening. So I had to tuck tail and go, and I started a traditional round of chemotherapy in September of 2014. And after 6 treatments, my doctor brought me in and said, Alicia, it's so strong and you're so weak, we can't continue. You're going to slide into a coma sometime and we're not going to be able to pull you back out during your treatment. So we made the decision to stop the treatment. And he said to me at that time, you'll be in my office every 3 months for the rest of your life. Forever, how much longer we have you here, you'll just be in my office every 3 months. We just want to maintain you, okay? But we'll come in and we'll have your blood work and your CTs every 3 months. That was my life. And that's what I understood. Until Dr. Stacy and Laura Balzer, my dear friend, went and met with David Schmidt, the owner and inventor of this incredible little miracle sticker patch, in 2021. They met with David, and the next day they called me. Now, I hadn't seen Stacy in 10 years. You guys, talk about divine appointments. You're probably here tonight because of a divine appointment. But they called me the next day and said, we have something that we think you need to try. Talked a little bit about it. Of course, I'm a researcher. I call myself, I am a doctor too. I'm a Dr. Google. You know, you can look at anything on there. But anyway, I researched for about 24 hours. And the next day I ordered Eon and X39, 2 patches. And I got those. That was the longest week of my life. Like, I couldn't wait to get them on my body. And I put them right here on the back of my neck, you know, where that, she said, just put it on that little bony part in the morning, put it by your toothbrush, stick them on in the morning, take them off and throw them away at night. So that's what I did. That's what I did. That's what I did. Now, I didn't feel anything. Nothing was like buzzing or happening, or, you know, I didn't feel energized immediately. But what I did feel is after 3 days, I slept through the night for the first time in years. And I had spent thousands of dollars on sleep aids and pillows and sound machines and teas and potions and lotions, the whole thing. And in 3 nights of patching with X39 and Eon, I slept through the night for the first time. I just kind of dismissed it, but I was like, maybe I'm tired, you know, but then I was like, maybe it's the patches. And then after about 21 days, and the chiropractors on here do not want to hear this, but I woke up and my lower back pain was gone. I'm talking diminished. I'm talking it's never returned. And I've been patching for 3 years, and I had spent thousands on chiropractic care. And guys, I woke up and the back pain that just was, it hurt to get in and out of a car. You know, that lower back pain where you're like scooting around like an old lady. And I was 40, was 40. And I was 50 at that time. And it didn't hurt anymore. And so I called Laura at that time and I said, is there any chance, is there any possibility that this patch is helping me sleep through the night and my lower back pain is gone? And she went, oh, absolutely. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I went, if nothing else, I don't know what's happening on the inside, but I'm sleeping and I don't hurt anymore. I'm sold on these patches. But now here's the real deal. Because I had that scheduled appointment every 3 months, I had a scheduled appointment. And I went in, I had my CT and my blood work, July 15th, 2021. I'd been patching at that time, and I went back and looked at the dates for 43 days. And after 43 days of patching, every single marker on my scans, the pathology, noted improvement, noted reduction of disease, noted improvement. Every single one of my scan reports, every bit of my blood work had improved. Every single level had improved in 43 days of X39 and Eon. Now, we were blown away. Like, it was unbelievable. And then this is what my doctor says to me. He's this big, beautiful man. He throws back his arms and he said, Alicia, he's from Africa, so he has this great accent. He said, Alicia, I don't know what you're doing. I don't want to know what you're doing, but don't stop. And I'll see you in a year. For 7 years, I had been seeing that man for every 3 months. Now, I felt like we were breaking up, but that was okay, because I'll tell you this, every time I walked in his office 4 times a year, it was $375. My copay was $375 for the specialty oncologist. So the patching was paying off both physically and financially at this point, because I wasn't paying those copays anymore, plus a CT scan. I mean, it was just unbelievable. He gave me a 1-year clear. It was very exciting. And if you throw that picture back up there again, I think there's a 6-month view. There's a photo that you can see. Yeah, so that was May of 2021. That was Memorial Day weekend, and then that was Christmas. And you can see in the first 2 photos the drastic difference that took place. Guys, sadly, the scale did not show I didn't lose a single pound, but I want you to notice the noticeable difference in the amount of inflammation in my face. People started noticing. I mean, and guys, if you are having that going on the outside, imagine what's going on the inside. And then you can see 3 years later, this past May, what all has happened. But exciting, every year I've gone back until so I've been patching for 3 years, and he gave me a full clear that I don't even have to come back anymore except for just blood work once a year. And I got staged down. We're going for NED, and if you don't know what NED is in those terms, is no evidence of disease. I have gone from stage 4 on my report to stage 3, And if you ask anybody in the medical community with Hodgkin's or non-Hodgkin's lymphomas, that doesn't happen. And I have it on my medical report. I went from stage 4 to stage 3 as a 53-year-old woman, and that doesn't happen unless you have the right tools. And guys, we have the right tools, and it just keeps getting better and better every year. And I can talk more because there's so much more to share, but I want to hear everybody else's too. So
Wow, thank you so much, Alicia. I'm like in tears over here. And wow, wait until the water, right? And you're gonna get that. What is it called? What's it called?
NED is no evidence.
NED is coming your way, girlfriend. I can't wait.
So we were in Punta Cana and we started talking about the water, and I was sitting next to Dr. Stan's wife, Jody, and Jody and Stan have been with me with the journey the whole time. And I looked over at her and she smiled at me when we were talking about the water, and tears just poured out of my eyes because I said, I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. You know, even the patches, I know it's going to happen. And
absolutely,
in that time, in this 3 years that I should not even have been here, because they gave me a 5 to 8 year lifespan at first diagnosis, and we're at 10 years. You know, I've gotten married. I've had 2 granddaughters, and none of that would have happened without these patches. None of that would have happened.
God bless you.
So,
God bless you. Thank you so much for sharing.
I call them a miracle sticker because that's what they are.
They are. Oh my gosh. Okay, now